I'm Freya. I'm 51 years old. I was born in Delft in Holland and lived there until I was 18, then moved to Rotterdam, went to art school. After art school I did cultural social studies. I have a bachelor's cultural social studies. Worked for a long time as a manager organizer in the field of public arts. Moved to California in 2017, lived in the Bay Area for 5.5 years. Worked there as an environmental educator and in the botanical garden, in communications and volunteer coordination. My mom in 1989 had bought an old mill farm in Portugal that's been part of our family for many years. That she decided to stop that project. That was in now maybe 15 years ago. And then my husband Steven and I, he's from California, we decided to move from California to Portugal and take over the project which is called Munhos do Dão, Mills on the Dão, where we've been living now for 11 years. So I've been living in Portugal for 11 years now. Yeah. That was, my mom decided to stop her involvement with the Munhos do Dão project, and the Munhos do Dão is a beautiful place on the river that for many years and still has an ecotourism business. And my husband and I saw the possibility at the Quinta to pursue our interest in learning to live off the land, grow our own food, and share that experience with others. So it was really a project in which we could unite this learning to live on the land and being in this context with other people. We really felt we could learn a lot of skills that we wanted to learn more about, more self-sustainable, not 100%, but that was the main thing. Our expectations when we came to Portugal, learning to live on the land and grow food and be more in touch, or let's say in tune with nature in what we do when it comes to the resources we use and what we eat. That definitely was fulfilled because we got to work that with our own hands and also eat more with the seasons. And it was really in Portugal that we decided, okay, we're only going to eat tomatoes when the tomatoes are in season. We don't eat tomatoes in the winter because it just doesn't taste good. It's not from here. And so this idea to live off the land and also more in nature, in harmony with the seasons, that definitely was fulfilled, that expectation. Yeah. So our goal was to learn how to grow food, not to have agricultural production for selling, but really to, in part, sustain ourselves. And so we've managed to sustain ourselves in part, and I would say that is 50% of what we eat through the year. We can grow ourselves. So that goal we realized, and that was a good result, I would say. I think it's very location specific, our adaptations, and that is that the isolation of our quinta, where we live, and I think, and also in part building a new social life, and that could be Portugal related or could also be somewhere else. But that, as a foreign person, to move from one continent to another, that's a big move. And then from an urban life to a rural life that is quite remote, as the kind is quite remote. The isolation and the social challenges to build a new social life, that was definitely the biggest challenge. Yeah. Biggest difference between Holland and Portugal is Holland is a country that is cultivated, organized, planned. Everything is planned, organized, cultivated. We know who owns what. It is very straight in that sense. And in terms of also its nature, it is less diverse, less interesting, even though there's interesting places. And in Portugal, with its large forested area and more rich biodiversity, those I think are, Portugal is a little bit more wild than Holland. Maybe I should put it that way. Yeah. Another big difference is that Portuguese versus Dutch people still in many places live so much closer to land and interact with land, whether it's in their woods or it's on their vineyard. There is a very active relationship between people and agricultural or forest land. In Holland, there's only a few people that own land, and here it is really the many. So the fact that rural dynamic, even though it's very problematic and it comes with a lot of challenges, is still, there's so much more relationship between the people and their terras, which I think is interesting. It can, for me it's enriching, and I think that if you want to be in tune with nature, I think it's actually only enriching, honestly. Yeah. Of my home country regarding food is that it's very culinarily, gastronomically very diverse. So there's a lot of different types of food, which is something I really like. The problem is that a lot of the raw materials, the ingredients, are imported because, of course, Holland is a colder country, and so you can't grow so much. So the challenge is really how to eat sustainable and eco-friendly food. Then you really have to do your best to eat with the seasons and not to have so many kilometers on a cucumber, you know. And so that is one of the big benefits and pluses of living in Portugal, that you can have a rich diet all year round, and so a lot of the base materials come from here. I would say, in terms of gastronomia, I think that there's a really, the Portuguese kitchen is very beautiful and rich, but sometimes for me too traditional. I really like fusion food and more experiments, and so the traditional weight in the Portuguese gastronomy for me is not so interesting. And then obviously there's also not that much creativity with vegetarian food, even though you see it more and more, but there's a very big emphasis on meat and fish, of course. And that there's not a lot of room, I would say, for play maybe. I mean, there is room, but there's not that much play with vegetarian food yet. Although there's good choices now, it's changing.